Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and I'm going to be taking a look at a brand new game. Holy potatoes, we're in space. That's quite a title this game has. And full disclosure, I did receive a key for this game from the developers. And this is very much going to be more of a blind playthrough than I've done in the past. Usually speaking, with these first impression videos, I'll play the game for an hour or two just to get a feel for it. This time around, I probably only played for 20 minutes or so just to get a feel for it. And I decided it would be a little bit more fun if we discover this game together from the start. So I'm going to open up a new game here. And I'll be playing it on normal mode, but there apparently is a couch potato mode, which gives you infinite souls, no achievements, good for some casual fun. Now, I have no idea what any of that means, and I guess we'll find out as we hop into the game. There is no escape, old friend. You don't get to call me that anymore, Hal. Can't you see what I'm trying to do, Jiraga? All of my efforts are dedicated to saving the universe. Ha! You self-serving spudface. Is that what you think you're doing? All of this death and destruction isn't going to save anything. After all these years, you can still not understand? There are far greater dangers that need to be stopped. But at what cost, Hal? How many innocent lives must be lost? No, I will sabotage every one of your missions till my last dying breath. You disappoint me. Regardless, it would be in your best interest to surrender now. What can you possibly do? Fight the eclipse? Our armada blots out the sun. You wouldn't stand a chance. Ha! I can't believe you still call them that. The eclipse are nowhere near what they used to be. Enough chatter, old friend. Looks like I just have to beat some sense into you. Come then, show me you aren't more bark than bite. Alright, so this is more or less the tutorial. I have played through this, but not much beyond this. So we'll beat some sense into this fool, but we have to be quick about it. Once his weapons come online, we're going to be in big trouble. And then over here, Jiraga, I know all your tricks. We fought side by side for so long, you cannot best me. I was always the better pilot. So we have a little bit of a master versus an apprentice. Alright, so this gives me very much FTL vibes. It's not exactly the same. It's turn-based as opposed to more of a RTS kind of system or, you know, real-time system that you can pause. This is actually broken up into turns. So select a weapon from the control panel, click on the hull of the enemy ship, and when you're ready, click fire. So what this does, this tutorial, is it teaches you how to combat things in more or less stages. It kind of ramps things up and teaches you new systems. Pretty good tutorial from what I've seen so far. So we click on one of our weapons down here, and then we click on the enemy to fire, and we just hit the fire button, and that will go ahead. Your puny weapons are no match. Something Cosmic Bolt. Didn't give me a chance to read that, unfortunately. Alright. We can use our shield to protect our weapons or the hull. Shield a damaged weapon by clicking on it, on its corresponding slot number in the shield panel, and when you're ready, fire at his hull again. So this is just explaining I can devote my shield to different parts. So it's probably already on the hull. So I can switch it over to the weapon that just got hit, and it's already highlighting that. So that's slot 4. You can't quite see it because of the tutorial here, but it would be this weapon here. So we can click that, and now we see that there's a shield. So it looks like we can only select one of these things, one of these components, and just like the enemy, we'll see here in a bit, there's going to be various components you can hit. So if we can go over that ourselves, so we have slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, and we can see those all here, and then we have our hull, which is here in the middle. Okay, so it's asking me to fire on the hull again, so we can click a weapon, and click fire. Now, one thing it's going to explain is I can fire multiple weapons. I'm actually curious if it will let me do that at this point in the tutorial. Actually, it will. Okay. So we can fire multiple weapons at once. It kind of explains that a little bit later, but we have this charge. I'm not going to explain it too much. I'll let the tutorial do that. Let's go ahead and fire. Alright, so he fires at me again. Oh boy, here it comes. There's no running from them lasers. We just gotta take it down before it takes us down. Take no chances with the Jagara. Get our laser weapon operational. We cannot afford to miss. He's always been a slippery one. Alright, so now we see that there's a weapon here. So how is a powerful laser weapon? Laser weapons are highly accurate, but can only attack a single target. We can fire multiple weapons if we have enough charge. Take that weapon down. So he just explained to me that we can fire multiple weapons. And that is our charge right here. Now, I think last turn, because I used a lot of my charge up, I have less charge to work with. So I may have actually screwed myself a little bit by doing that. Now, as far as the weapons go, I don't know 100% how these work. I assume that the number above that we see here is the relative damage that it can do. And then we have some extra stats here, so laser, single target, and so on. Then we have the missile weapon. This has splash damage. It does less damage than this one, but I believe it hits multiple targets, what I'm guessing the splash damage means. And then this one is a foghorn. It's a wave. It hits all. And then we have a railgun, pierces shields. Well, I'm only going to be able to choose, and the charge is up here in the upper right corner. I can only choose up to 11 charge, so I can only really fire 2 of these weapons. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the more damaging weapons, trying to take out his weapon there. And let's go ahead and fire. Okay, so same thing, we're gonna target him here. We have a little bit more charge to work with, and I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I'm guessing if you have leftover power, it kind of works into your next turn, so that's kind of part of the strategy perhaps as well. So again, we're gonna go ahead and fire a weapon that will take out the laser here. It should be okay with just this one weapon. I'm hoping that that's the case. We don't know if there's any defenses that are going to be playing a part, but according to this, it pierces shield, so I'm hoping that it will be able to take it out. Even its minimum damage should be enough. And then we'll put our other weapon here on his hull. But I am going to only fire these 2 weapons and see how much more charge we get the next turn. Okay, here comes the big guns. His ship has far more weapons than we do. We'll have to try something else. I think I have just the trick. I tried to go easy on you, old friend, but the games are over. Okay, time for the ace up our sleeve. We use special pilot skills in battle. They don't cost us a turn, but may consume charge. So this is the ability it wants us to use. There's a cooldown for it. It apparently takes 20, so I'm going to assume that's 20 turns. But it will stun all enemy weapons for 4 turns. That seems pretty powerful, so we're going to go ahead and use that. Here goes nothing. And all of his weapons are now stunned, so we're free to wail on him. We have his ship on the lockdown. It's a long shot, but let's try to gun him down. Bah, your tricks again, Jagara. This is merely a setback. Alright, so let's wail on his weapons here. So it looks like we have full charge. And I don't know exactly where that came from. So we're going to want to do probably all of our weapons on this one weapon to ensure it goes down. Just doing the rough math here, it's probably going to take that much. But we do have the wave weapon and the splash damage that should hit the other things as well. Okay, that one goes down. So now we have 23 charge. So not quite as much as we had before. And again, I don't know exactly how the charge recharging works, but quite clearly, last turn we spent, what, 10, 20 charge, so we got back a certain amount, maybe 13. But I think we put two weapons on this one, and then we maybe focus fire with the other 2 on that. Okay, so yeah, it looks like maybe roughly 14 charge because we had 3 left over last turn. And maybe we got back 14. All right, so let's try and take out these last couple weapons. This one looks like it's going to go down soon. So we're not going to have enough charge to fire all of our weapons this turn. So I think maybe the wiser move is to go with the attacks that hit more of the ship. And we should take these two weapons down if our calculations are correct. Okay, so now we're free, I guess, to hit the hull. Let's go for our big damage weapons here. Okay, that's our cue. We need to live to fight another day. Why won't you listen? Why won't you understand? If you aren't with me, then you shall simply cease to be. Annihilate them. Okay. Warp. Yay. He was just repeating the line he said anyway. Okay, so some amount of time passed. Hey, what did you need me to get from the hub again? Oh. Spud, not this again. Why are you wasting your time with Gigi's journal? Cassie, there could be valuable information on here. Gigi might be held. Who we're dealing with, yada yada, you know, stuff that could lead us to finding him. Now, this part I have not seen so far. Now, it says spacebar. You can actually click to advance the dialogue as well. It's been 6 months since Gigi was kidnapped. If there was anything in there that could have helped us, shouldn't we have found it by now? Well, if someone didn't drench this journal with coffee, I might have been able to get more out of this. I mean, there's no point in crying over spilt coffee, right? All that's salvageable is him recounting and patting himself on the back for that eclipse battle he fought a long time ago. You know, the one he told us as kids. All right, so that was what we were reading. We were just reading that in our journal, I guess, the event we just did. I mean, come on, Gigi's a good pilot, but not that good. Taking on a full-on assault from an Eclipse mothership piloted by Hal, the Astro Premier of Eclipse himself? No one survives that. If he really ate that blast head on, we wouldn't have a ship to be in. Look at this hunk of junk. Hey, it isn't a hunk of junk. It has a name, a glorious name. Right, about that name. Awesome, right? I got it online off a name generator for all things cool and awesome. No, it's terrible. Change it. How dare you! The intergalactic anti-gluten-free supreme Dorino vegetable shredder McChopster doomship of endless fury is a beautiful, well-thought... It's stupid and a mouthful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say that again. You're stupid and a mouthful. Fine, let's see you come up with a better name for the ship. And here we go. So, I'm gonna call it Mousehole. I don't know. Yeah, the Mousehole. There we go. How about the Mousehole? That's Terra. Wow, okay, I really like that one. Fine. Why are you here anyway? Aren't you supposed to get the crafting room and therapy room? I accidentally clicked. Whoops. Right, that's what you need from the Star Hub. All right, give me 2 shakes. Remember not to overspend. We're almost out of starch and resources. We both know I probably will, but if we run out, we just gotta go get more. A couple of explorations should do the trick. All right, time to get to work. The top left panel shows our HP and fuel. Once the hull hits 0, we go bye-bye. Protect it at all costs. Okay, so we've got hull and fuel. Pretty self-explanatory. This other panel on the right shows our resources and starch. It reminds us how poor we are. So resources, not sure what the resources are yet, and there are no tooltips, and I'm assuming this is the starch at 12,000. It looks like we have 50 of everything else. And we're in the Star Hub, apparently. We're docked at the Star Hub right now. Let's go get what Faye needs from there. Click on the hub button on the bottom left. So here's the hub. The Star Hub offers free refueling and repairs to get more edibles to stop. Yeah, to get more edibles to stop by. Let's pop by the upgrade shop and get what we need. Click on the upgrade shop. Shinies, blings, and beyond. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Faye wanted us to get a therapy facility and a crafting workshop. By the therapy facility and crafting workshop. Okay, so that looks like the only things that we have available, and they both cost 1,000, so it looks like we'll end up with 10,000 after this. I'm assuming we just have to buy them one at a time. It'll cost us 1,000 to upgrade the crafting workshop level 1. Are we sure about this? Yep. And then we got the other thing, and it's going to say probably the same thing. Let's proceed. Okay, sweet. We got what Duchess Tyrant wanted. Let's head back to the ship. Click the back button on the bottom right. All right. Back to the ship on the bottom. Okay. Oh, hey, our crew members just got back. Every single one of them are unique little snowflakes. They have skills that will be very useful on our explorations. My favorite part, let's craft some weapons. Click on the crafting workshop. Here's how you can craft weapons. You can always access this by clicking I. Choose the pop-up by, close the pop-up by clicking the X on the top right corner. Alright, we can craft new weapons by assigning crew and weapons parts to our craft stations. What are these little guys? They look like... Are they supposed to be containers of something? Alright. So for right now, we're not doing anything with that. Our crew need their orders before they can get to work. Try assigning them to a workstation with a blueprint. Drag and drop a crew member and weapon into the crafting station. Okay, so here's a crew member. Okay. Fortification, laser defense, shrapnel crafting. Okay, so... he likes shrapnel crafting, and this is a shrapnel thing, so I guess that's why they're highlighting him. And I guess we put him over there. And then we drag the weapon, and we put it over there. Alright, we're done in here. They'll take a soul or two, so let's lead them to it. Scroll out, or click the exit button on the top to exit this room. So scroll out. Okay. Ooh, here we go. We just got our first objective. We need to complete all our objectives before we can move to the next galaxy. The bottom right panel shows the souls we have left before the eclipse catches up with us. We need to travel to the next galaxy before that happens, or we'll be in trouble. Remember, when we explore, travel or skip, it takes up a soul. Click on the travel button and the bottom right panel to open the galaxy map. Alright, so that's a travel. Okay, we're going to need more resources before we warp. It's time for an exploration. Let's start with getting to one of the outlying planets. Okay, so travel. Okay, the galaxy map shows us all the planets in this galaxy. We are currently at the Star Hub. Look for a Baeri. It should have an objective tag on it. Click on Baeri and select travel to go there. Alright, so we're the Star Hub. I guess that's our objective. And there it is. Okay, so click on the... Okay, select travel to go there. So here's the big button that says travel. Okay, difficulty not listed, I'm assuming. Size, medium. Weather forecast, clear. Not sure what some of these things are, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. Fuel cost 19, and we have 100, so that's good. 1 soul later, 9 souls left. Okay. The overview screen shows us all the current tasks that are in progress or are complete. There are lots of other stuff you can look into here. Check it out. Hit back to the ship when you're done. So we got the weapon completed and nothing else really happened. So let's just go back to the ship. Sweet, we made it to Baeri. Let's check in with Faye real quick. All right, so we just have to complete the objective to do that. I'm assuming we're here orbiting this charming planet because you ran out of starch. I like to think that I'm here to get us more riches, more spoils. Don't be such a wet blanket. All right, so what are we running low on? Everything? 10 points to Pufflehuff. I'm an Avenclaw, we both know that. But I digress. Do whatever needs doing, Cassie, but do it quickly. We have a couple of souls left before those Eclipse lackeys catch up with us. Ugh, starchy and a hash again. Talk about persistent. They just don't understand us women. I mean, no means no, you know? I mean, I'm guilty of always talking about wanting someone who's traveling across the universe for me. But not like this, man. Not like this. Yeah, well, I don't want to get shot down in space or worse, put in an Eclipse cell. So, get what we need from this planet, and we can head back to the hub and warp the Spud off before they catch up with us. Our ship's still reeling from the last time they tagged us. Yes, ask Mistress Faye. Pion, go work now. Work, work. Alright, time for an exploration. Before we head towards the planet's surface, we need to assign some weapons on the bridge. Click on the bridge. Alright, so, I'm guessing the Eclipse are the bad guys that we fought in the tutorial. At least that's what I gather from the lore so far. Here we assign weapons and crew and the bridge to their stations. Make sure to look at the weapon stats. Crew can affect weapon stats depending on what skills they possess. Drag and drop weapons and crew into the control stations. Okay, so I'm assuming these are the control stations. We have, looks like 2. So, and it looks like we have a couple slots that may be expandable. Like, I'm just taking a look at this. So it looks like that's a slot, and then this is an expansion slot, this is an expansion slot. This is a guess, of course. So, we've got this weapon, which has accuracy of 60%, critical of 6%. It takes up 3 charge. And it was 27 to 55, so we're not nearly as much damage as we had in the tutorial. I'm assuming this is hit points. No skills required, awesomeness guaranteed, no money back though. Let's take a look at crew just so we get an idea. Crafting specialist, laser specialist, combat specialist. Okay, well we don't know what these roles do, but I have a feeling that these 2 guys are our better combatants. Alright, over here is a missile. So this does significantly more damage. It also says no skills required. And then we have the laser, no skills required, awesomeness guaranteed, so on and so forth. So far from what I can see, the laser does by far and away the most damage, so that makes sense to use. And we might as well have our laser specialist on that. And then the missile does the next best damage from what I can see, but I don't know the difference between... It also is much more accurate, too. I mean, as far as I can tell, the shrapnel weapon we just built is kind of garbage. It's not doing as much damage. It's not nearly as accurate. Again, there might be some special attribute that it has that I'm not aware of, but as far as I can tell, the missile seems to be the better call, especially as it costs the same amount of charge to use as this does. If we had a 3rd slot, I could see using that other weapon, but we don't, so there we go. Alright, looks like we're done here. Scroll out or click the exit button on the top to exit. Alright, so we'll do it that way this time. Time to go out and explore this planet and get some loot. Okay, explore. Okay, so we had travel, now it's explore. Time to go out, explore this planet, and get some loot. Let's go. Click start. All right. So this looks like we're getting into combat now. We've picked up the signals of some weird metallic box floating out in space. Do we want to reel it in and see what it is? The scanners didn't find anything wrong with it. Alright, so again, this kind of reminds me of FTL in spirit. It's very different in mechanics, I would say, but it's got kind of the same feel with your choose-your-own-adventure kind of style. Well, why not? Let's go with the adventure. I also like the fact that everything has alternate key bindings, so you can do things with the mouse, or you can do things with the key binding as well. Let's go ahead and try that out. So I'm assuming if I hit the number 1 key, it will select let's bring it on board, and that is indeed what happened. They bring it on board and open it up. They find it filled with all sorts of junk, which they dump into their resources bin. There was nothing else valuable in it. Oh, that's too bad. I hope that it would have some treasure. Paul gets status effect boon. P-Shear gets status effect boon. Apollo gets a status effect boon. And then we get some of our stats or resources here, 1 of each. Let's continue. And I'm assuming this is still a bit of a tutorial. Those heavy weaponry look like trouble. Targeting the hull might be a good idea. Don't be shaking in your boots now. Alright, so they're saying targeting the hull sounds like a good idea, but as far as I can tell, I won't be able to take out the weapon with... Yeah, so I see what they're saying here. We're probably better off taking out the hull because it has the same number of hit points as the weapon. We'll go ahead and do that. Oh, we only have enough charge for 1 attack, so... Let's take a look here. So this has splash damage. This is a single target. I'm going to assume his shield will block it, though, because it is on his hull. Interesting. Well, we'll go ahead and fire with the laser just to see what it does. Okay, it seemed like it broke his shield. Alright, so he's got a shrapnel-style weapon, which is a multi-hit, from what I can tell. So, that's what just got inflicted on us. Now, it appears his shield is down, so we can freely attack his hull now. Alright, yeah, okay. So it looks like we have some kind of repair functionality. Oh, we also have this. The Hail Mary deals 10% of the user's hull max HP and damage to the hulls of both ships and deals minor bonus damage to the enemy hull based on charge. All charge is discarded this way. Well, you know what? Why don't we try it and just see what it does? Please let this work, please! Alright, well that took care of it. Cassie and Faye are on their way back to their ship when they notice that an old lady has fallen down, her groceries scattered everywhere. No one else seems inclined to help her. Alright, so we need to help her, come on, or we need to get going, someone else will help her. Yeah, let's help her. Cassie races to the old onion lady's side and helps her up while Faye picks up her groceries. They ask her back to her house, where her son gives them a sum of starch out of gratitude for their help. Starch plus 350. I mean, that was pretty obvious that we were supposed to do this. Again, I think this is kind of quasi-tutorial that we're doing right now. And I think it's being purposely obvious. Those heavy weaponry look like trouble, targeting the hull. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing. So I'm guessing we get, like, kind of advice on how to deal with enemies every time. Leave us alone! I still haven't figured out what some of these things are supposed to be, because it's just like the cartoony nature. I'm assuming this is supposed to be some kind of vegetable, maybe a leek. Alright, so taking a look at the hull, it is at 320, and then we have this weapon, which is also 320. I'm not sure how effective this missile weapon is going to be, whether or not it'll even get through the shield. Let's try it out, though, because we haven't tried it out yet. We'll aim at the hull, but this should give splash damage. Let's fire. Okay, so it didn't break through the shield. Okay. All right, this gives me an idea of how much my shield is and how much recharge I'm going to get. Okay, let's go for trying to knock down their shield. Now, I don't know. I guess I get the same kind of stats over here. How much charge they have, how much shield they have. I didn't really pay attention to this before, but yeah, this has given me a lot of good information. I would say, so far, I'm really impressed with this game. It has a pretty good tutorial from what I've seen so far, and it has a lot of good UI feedback, which is, you know, a good highlight. And you also get a reminder of what just happened. But let's go ahead and try and knock down this shield. It looks like we're not that far away from doing it. You know what? The laser might do bonus damage to the shield now that I look at it. Okay, let's just dig into the... I'm actually curious. Does it give me an indicator of what kind of charge we get? No, that's one thing I would like to see a tooltip on. And maybe that's something we can see about the ship later. Let's just go for his hull for now. But as far as I can tell, it looks like the laser is really effective at, yeah, plus 50% of max HP per turn. Oh, that's what the boon does. Okay, good. But I'm assuming, just from what I'm seeing, that the laser does bonus damage to shields, because it looked like it did double damage. We get to fire both of our weapons this turn. Down he goes. It could have been a crit, too. I'm not sure. All right, exploration complete. Okay, so we got our overall information here. Total damage dealt, weapons, components salvaged. So we've got a few of those. And... okay, resources found. All right, so this is just an overall summary. Woohoo! That was awesome. Let's check in with Faye and give her an update. Okay, so we have another objective cleared. Dunzo! This should be plenty. So I guess this will have to do. I guess this will have to do? I think you mean, thank you, Captain, my captain, for all your hard work. I will get you your drink from our space bar now. We're out of space lemon juice and vodka. Of course we are. We're broke. Well, a little less broke now. Here, have some of this refreshing beverage instead. Refreshing beverage? Do you mean water? It is refreshing, I'm not wrong. Everything is terrible. It's about to be much worse if we don't start heading back to the warp gate at the hub. We need to warp to the next galaxy, wherever that is, to throw them off our scent. Man, we just cannot catch a break. Back to the hub then. I think they'll have vodka back at the hub. I think our starch cache would magically double and weight by the time we get back. A simple no would have sufficed, Sassball. Now to head back to the Star Hub. Okay, so we just go to travel. Actually, there was something I wanted to check. I don't know how you exit the screen, but that's okay. We'll just go to the Star Hub. Okay, 1 soul later, 7 souls left. We made it back in one piece. Let's see if Faye has anything for us to do. All right, before we do that, I want to click this overview just to see what it has to say. Okay, so for what I can see, this gives us some information about our ship. We got storage, what's in storage, crew, who's our crew, okay, good. Pilot, okay. Treasure, research, upgrades. All right. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm not sure where you see the stats on your ship, because I'd actually like to know stuff like where does our charge come from, how much do we get back every turn, that kind of stuff, because I think it's really important for the strategy of the game. But let's go ahead and see what the objective is. We're back in the black. Starch falling out of my pack. Cass, do the universe a favor and never write lyrics. I'd be sputting amazing. No, you know what? I already am amazing. I am a star. You're named after a few stars, Cassiopeia, as am I. Does that make me a star too? For Spud's sake? I'm a gloriously glowing sun, the center of everything. The planets dance around me. You're more like one of those old dying ones, all moldy with negativity, full of gas and flatulent and stuff. So, where we're headed this time? Doesn't matter, we'll still have zero information on where Gigi's at. So, I'll just dance my fingers across the coordinates panel like I always do? Yeah, anywhere but here. And if there's any last minute stuff you need from the hub, go get it. We won't be coming back here. Alrighty, we're coming for you, Grandpa. We have no idea where you are, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, so we're gonna click on the warp gate here and go to our next galaxy. I honestly don't think there's anything to do here necessarily. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really let me, it seems. I was clicking all over this space. Oh man, warping makes me pukish, but we better leave before the eclipse catch up with us. Alright, click on the warp gate. Are you sure you'd like to warp to the next galaxy? Proceed. Ugh, I'm still not used to this whole warping business. Use a bucket this time. I'm not cleaning that crap up again. But you're my sister. You're supposed to take care of me. I'm your younger sister. You should be taking care of me. But the whole useless older sister trope is cute, and I take care of... Hey, you're late! Excuse me? There's been another incident. We called you a sol ago. It took you long enough to respond. Whoa, buddy. You've got the wrong spuds. We just... That warping space cat has been a menace for far too long. Stealing our food, knocking stuff over on purpose. Did you say warping space cat? How is that even possible? Spud if I knew. It blinks all over the place. Stares us dead in the eye and then knocks glasses and ceramics off the shelves. My precious china plate collection. Now that you're here, animal control, nab that thing and get rid of it. But we're not animal. Absolutely, sir. We will have it out of your hair. My apologies, poor choice of words, huh? Wait, what? We will? Think about it. If we caught the space cat that can warp at will, I could probably develop some new tech if I studied her for a while and we'll solve our warp problems? Genius. All right, I got this. Ahem. Not to worry, sir. My trusty sidekick and I will solve your pesky cat problem. Or, you're in luck, sir. We are the best in the business. Of course we're the best in the business. Ah, I couldn't care less. Just get rid of that thing, or don't you dare show your face. No time to waste. To the mouse hole. Let's start by checking out the surrounding galaxies. It couldn't have gone too far. Curiosity killed the... Alright, so... Looks like we had a game save there too, so it looks like it works on an autosave principle. And I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So, pretty good first impression as far as I'm concerned. Pretty good presentation. It's got a unique art style. Gameplay is both simple and fun. It's not too... I mean, there's some detail to it that I still think I need to learn, but It is definitely fun. It's not exactly the same as FTL, of course. There are differences, but it definitely has that same kind of feel. But I am definitely impressed, and I hope you guys are too. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.